Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make the face on your face jug. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to start by figuring out where you want your eyes to be, and you're going to just make two little indentations with your finger where those little eye sockets are going to go. Okay, be careful about things cracking. Okay, so that's where your eye sockets are going to go. Your nose is going to go here, mouth is going to go somewhere around here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using coils to build up those spaces. So let's start with the nose. So for the nose, it depends on the nose that you've made, but I'm going to start with a coil that gets larger on the bottom, kind of like a cone, smaller at the top. And I'm going to see about how big it needs to be. This is way too big, so I'm going to just pinch off about this much of it. Typically, if something is wider than your thumb, it needs to be hollowed out. This is not wider than my thumb, so it's okay, and it doesn't need to be hollowed out. The reason you would need to do that is because sometimes there are air pockets inside clay when it's too dense, and you would have to hollow it out. So an easy way to do that would be to just kind of take a tool, carve it out, scrape it out, but like I said, we don't have to do that. So where we're going to be attaching our nose, what I'm going to be doing first is I need to kind of rough up that area where it's going to be attached. This is called scoring, okay? And then I'm gonna take a little bit of my slip, put it where I want to attach the nose, and put that nose on there and gently press it on. Okay. When you're doing this, notice how my hand is on the inside because my pot is still very soft. Some of your pots have gotten a little bit harder, but mine is still very soft. So I need to have my hand in there supporting that structure. So now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to blend it in because like your nose shouldn't have these lines where it's attaching to your face. You can use a tool to do that. You can use your finger to do that. Whatever works best for you. And then inside his nose, I'm going to give him his little nostrils. Again, it depends on the type of nose that you're using. Okay, and there's my nose. So next we're going to work on the mouth. Now the mouth, it depends what kind of shape that you're creating for your mouth, and for that you need to be looking at your sketches. For mine, I'm going to just do a normal mouth. Again, I'm going to scratch up that area where my mouth is going to go. I'm going to put my slip on here, and then I'm going to have my coil ready to go here. So this is obviously too big for my lip. So I'm just going to gently put that right here while I get it ready and see if it's going to fit. I'm going to get my top lip ready to go. It's going to be right about there. Okay, so those are going to be where my lips go. So now that I've got that ready to go, again, I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to push it in really nice, make good suction with it. Take my finger and blend it. Take some slip, get that nice and smooth. Okay, and then we've got our next lip. This is going to go, my top lip is going to go on top of that. Use your tools, like if I want to push down on my lip in the middle, you know, use your tools to do any kind of shaping that you want to do. Use your water in your slip bowl to make things smooth. You can use your finger. You can use a brush if you want to use a brush, but you want to get rid of any of those little rough areas. Just smooth it out. You're just using, this is just dirt, which is water and dirt. Clay is just made out of dirt and water, I'm sorry. So all you're doing is adding more water so that it becomes less like dirt and more like clay when it gets too hard. Okay, now most face jugs, if you remember the pots that we looked at, are kind of sinister looking. So the way that we want to do that is we want to put some teeth in here. And so I've already crushed up some previous pieces of pottery from other pots that kids didn't take home with them, and I'm going to use some of these little pieces for my teeth instead of using white clay. So I'm just going to grab a piece of white old pottery in here from my bucket. Yes, it does look strange. Yes, it does kind of look snaggletoothly, but that's kind of the idea of the pot. So I'm only going to give them 2 teeth. And I want them to be kind of crooked, and I want them to be kind of unbalanced looking. Okay, so last for the eyes, you're gonna go wash your hands so that your hands don't have your red clay on it. And then you're going to be, which I'm not gonna go do right now, then you're gonna take some white clay and we're gonna roll our eyeballs out of the white clay. Your eyeballs are gonna go over here in your eye socket, so I'm gonna take a little bit of slip, put my slip in there. I don't want to get it all over the white because then the white won't look white anymore. And I'm going to pop my eye in there. Now the way that you shape your eye is again is going to be with the coil. So the coil is going to make the shape of the eye. If your eye is going to be round like this, then that's how you would bend your coil. I'm going to make my eyes kind of like humans. So I'm going to scratch my surface. I'm going to put my slip on my coil so that it doesn't come near my eyeball. And I'm going to place my eyelid a little bit over my eyeball. When you look in the mirror, your eyeballs are not sticking out of your head. They're covered slightly by your eyelids. So that's what we're going to do first. I might need to get a slightly smaller coil for this, for my bottom eyelid. Okay, and again, you're going to be looking at your picture and figuring out what shape your eye needs to be. Take one of your tools, use your knife, use your finger, whatever it is, blend it in. Take my water from my bowl, smooth it out. Okay, I've got a little bit too much red inside here, so I'm going to scoop that out with my knife here and make that a little bit cleaner. And then I would give myself a little bit of a pupil. And there's one eye. Okay, if you want to have things like eyelashes and eyebrows, you would do that at the end. I don't have a whole lot of room for that, so I'm not going to do it. But you might want to take this opportunity to add something like, if there's hair involved on your pot, do you want to have hair? Do you want to have something coming from the top, like a coil showing there's hair? That sort of stuff you would do at the end, using my slip and attaching it and smoothing everything out. Okay, if you are making a handle, the handle is going to be the very last thing that you would do. My pot is way too big for a handle, so I'm not going to put a handle on it. It would look silly unless maybe I had 2 on each side. If you're going to make 2 of anything, you take your 2 coils, make sure they're the same size, cut them so that they're the same size. So now I have 2 handles, exactly the same thickness and exactly the same height. Let's say I'm going to put them over on the side. So if I bend them, I know they're going to look exactly the same. So I'm going to take the side of my pot, scratch out where they're going to be connecting, put my slip where I'm going to be connecting, stick that coil over there, stick that coil over there, blend it with my finger. Okay, do not try to pick up your pot by your handles right now. It will fall apart. Your handles are no way strong enough until this goes into the kiln. At the very end, on the bottom, you're going to write your initials on the bottom and put P4, so I know what class it is, and put the year, 2021. And you will be done.